Hi everyone, welcome to class. I'm Kate. I'm an English teacher here on Verbling. And today's class is for intermediate learners. And in today's class, we will be reading and discussing a news article. So what we'll do is read the article out loud, then I'll give the students some time to read the article on their own. Then we'll talk about vocabulary and questions, and then we will save time at the end of class for some discussion. Okay, so welcome, students. Hi again, Essen.
Hello, I'm sorry for last class.
Oh, that's fine. Don't worry about it. No problem.
Okay.
How has your afternoon been?
It was okay. I had to cook something to eat, and the door was knocking and stuff like that. That's why I had to go.
Okay, no, don't worry.
Okay.
Okay, good. And hello, Mustafa.
Hello, Edgar. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks for asking.
Good. Hi, Mauro.
Hi, teacher. How are you?
I'm doing well, and you?
Fine, thank you.
Good. And where are you calling from?
From Spain, Madrid.
Oh, from Spain. Okay, very cool. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Okay. Hi, Kevin.
Hello,
How's it going?
I'm pretty good, thank you.
Good. And Kevin, where are you calling from?
South Korea.
From South Korea. Very cool. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
And hi, Juan Pedro.
Hi, hello teacher.
How are you?
I'm fine. And you?
Good. Good, thank you.
Welcome.
Is that a picture of you skiing?
Yes, it's
Yes.
in the north of Spain, Pyrenees.
In the Pyrenees?
Pyrenees.
Is it
Yes.
in Andorra?
But no, it's Cerler.
Okay.
Benasque is one of the best places to practicing this kind of sport.
Very nice. Cool. Okay, well, very nice to have you here.
Thank you.
And hello, Ali.
Hi, Kate, again.
Hi again. I haven't watched the video yet, but it's open on my computer to watch after I finish my classes. So, so we can talk about it another day.
What did
Okay.
you do in your break?
I relaxed. I had something to eat, and I had coffee.
Okay.
So nothing interesting. And you?
Good for you.
What about you? Were you working?
Yeah, I complete some works and I went out. I visit one customer, my customer, and come back.
So you were busy.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, well, nice to have you back. And who has just joined us? Hi, Giovanni.
Hi,
How are you?
fine, thanks you.
Good, thanks. Where are you calling from?
Okay, let me introduce myself. I'm Giovanni, but you can call me Johnny, just like
Okay.
the famous American actor Johnny Depp. You
Oh,
can
okay, so
notice,
I've had you in class before.
yes, you can notice the resemblance, you know. Okay, let me. Okay,
Okay.
okay, it's better.
I remember you. Okay, now I recognize your picture. Okay.
Okay,
All right,
it's
so
better.
Johnny's back. We have Johnny Depp in class, everyone.
Yeah, it's better. It's better now with my picture. So okay. Yes, I've loved English since I was child, and here I am. And I'm looking forward to joining your class, and because English is okay. English makes me feel happy. That's
Good. I'm glad it makes you feel happy.
yeah.
It makes some students feel very stressed, I think.
No.
Does English make any of you feel stressed?
No.
No. No one? You all like English?
Come
Yeah.
on, students.
Yeah, we like
Not
English.
very enthusiastic.
Concept,
Okay.
concept interest.
We like English. That's why we are here.
Good. But Kevin, it said it makes you stressed?
Yeah, a lot.
Why is that?
Especially in academic parts, like such as TOEFL. Yeah,
Okay, so you're studying for the TOEFL?
yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that can be stressful.
Hmm.
Absolutely.
Come on, stressful. My mother-in-law, okay, makes me stressful. You know, not English. You know.
She makes you stressed.
Uh,
Better not let her see this video.
Believe me, English relieves all my pains, you know, and and I have a lot of pain because of my nasty mother-in-law, you know.
Tell us how you really feel. Okay.
Oh, it's a typical Italian mother-in-law, you know. It's not a stereotype, you know, because
Is she a good cook?
yeah, I think it's a sort of national disease, you know, and and I suffer from this disease, you know.
Okay.
And English is a wonder drug.
English is a wonder. Well, I'm happy to hear that. That's great.
Okay.
Okay, and I like what Mauro said in the chat. My English teacher at LU said English language is designed for confounding foreigners. Do you think that's true, Mauro?
As it's simply an idea of my teacher at London University said when speak with foreign people like Italian, Spanish, or South America, I say quite mostly during the time that English language is designed for confounding foreign people. Well, it's true. It's neat.
Okay, well, hopefully it won't be too bad. And hopefully today's class will be interesting. We're reading what I think is a good article, and hopefully you will enjoy the topic, which I will tell you about after I welcome Ernar to class. Hi.
Hello,
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. And hi, Ismail.
Hi, Kate. How are you?
How are you doing?
I am doing well, thank you.
Good. Nice to have you back here. Okay, so for those of you who I have not met before, I'm Kate. I'm an English teacher from the US. And today's class is for intermediate students, which all of you are, I hope, or more advanced, or beginners. Whoever, anyone is welcome. We're going to read an article. The article is about a topic that I think is really interesting. It's health related. Specifically, it's related to mental health and psychology. So, so before we start reading the article, I want to ask you all, what type of news do you like to read? Do you like to read news about politics, about sports, about science? What news is most interesting for you?
Positive news, please.
Positive news.
Oh yes.
This one is potentially positive. This one is positive, I would say.
It sounds good.
It's positive. It's about treating depression.
Oh, okay. Psychological topic.
It's good.
No, so it's making people feel better. It's making people happier.
I think so.
Yeah. Okay, so it's positive, I think. You can let me know what you think after you read the article. Okay, so Johnny Depp likes positive news.
Yes,
and
of
the rest
course.
of you?
Yes, just because I believe that we live in a cruel world and we need to have positive news, you know, just to have a brighter future. Okay, I think that is important to have a positive mindset come from positive news, you know, and I think so. I hope so. Just because
Absolutely.
we are facing a lot of problems nowadays, and maybe a positive news can help us to go ahead, to go forward, you know, to move forward.
Good.
Uh,
And other students, what about you? What kind of news do you like to read?
Daily life, such as the effects of coffee. Nowadays, people drink coffee a lot. I live on coffee. So,
You live on coffee.
yeah.
Me too. I drink a lot of coffee.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Wakes brain all the time. It's
That's
great.
true. Good. So maybe like health studies, like, you know, studies about things that impact your daily life.
Yeah.
Okay, very nice. And other students, what kind of news do you like to read?
I like to read. I like to read about traveling reports.
Okay. And why is that?
Sorry?
Why do you like to read about travel? Or what do you find interesting about travel articles?
About exotic countries, about what you can do in a country you want to visit, and above all, the life, the monuments, the culture, all of that.
Definitely, yeah. Good.
For me, teacher, I like to read technology news. Yeah, I prefer it. I agree with the Johnny. I am fed up with political news or something like this because I think, yeah, propaganda,
Yeah,
negative.
we talked
Yeah,
about this the other day, I think. You
yeah,
said, I'm just tired of hearing all the bad news. I don't even read the news anymore.
yes,
Right? Yeah.
yes.
But you don't have to choose what is in the newspaper. If you buy a newspaper, I don't know. I read politics and daily life. I read everything in the newspaper. You can't find always positive news.
That's true, yeah. That's true. Sorry, I have a lot of background noise. Okay.
okay, what about girls? I think
Well,
that it
I
would.
think we only have one girl in the class here. So, Essen, what kind of news do you like to read? You've been singled out.
Okay, so actually, most of the time, I follow the news on BuzzFeed. Do you know that website? BuzzFeed, maybe. I'm not sure. Kind of 9gag, but it is not actually kind
Yeah,
of 9gag.
very, very popular, yeah.
And yes, I know it sounds kind of like kid stuff, but I don't know. But the rest of the TV channels or newspaper make me feel hopeless about the world, so I'm choosing that way to read them. And so actually, I choose the article like randomly. So, I choose one, and then the site shows kind of related topics on the right column. So I go another one if I found something really interesting, and I can Google it or stuff like that. Most of the time it works on me like this.
Yeah, BuzzFeed is very addicting. Whenever I look at BuzzFeed, I end up looking at like 20 articles with pictures of cats or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know, but at the same time, sometimes I find something political or technology news, even
That's true.
they're not interesting for me, but sometimes I can read.
That's true, yeah. And good. And Ismail, you typed in the chat, you said?
Yes, Kate, I usually read about health and life article about food because the other news are generally depressing. and I also choose interesting and didactic because I want to learn something when I read an article.
Didactic,
I,
you mean?
didactic, yes. I
Good.
sometimes read about technological article too.
So things that can maybe make your life better or easier.
So
I want
I
to
strongly
follow
recommend
the development in technology, especially about TV and smartphone.
Okay.
Because if you don't follow, you can stay in your position. You don't know about the improvements, about the latest improvements, actually.
Yeah, I agree. Very good. And Essen, what were you saying?
I was saying that I strongly recommend Ismail to go to BuzzFeed Live and choose the food button, so he's gonna see all of the incredible articles about every type of food.
Good. Ismail, do you like to cook?
I like cook and I like eat to good cook food.
Okay, so you don't like to cook as much as you like to eat.
Yes.
Okay, and Ali seems to agree.
You should come to Italy.
Maybe Johnny's mother-in-law can cook for you.
Oh, really? Is she good at cooking, Giovanni?
What? Sorry? Pardon me? Can you repeat?
I said maybe Johnny's mother can cook for you to
mother-in-law.
Is she a
Okay.
good cook?
Let me say that my wife is a good cook, and this is enough for me.
Okay, that's good. All right, so
Because she's watching the class, maybe that's why you say that.
she's checking up on you on Verbling. Okay, so today's article, as I said, is I think it's positive. It's about psychology and mental health, which I find fascinating. It's the news that I really like to read. I think it's very interesting. And I think a lot of times it leads to good discussion because there's still so much that we don't know. So hopefully at the end of our class today we can have a good, interesting discussion about the article we read. So I'm going to send you the link. It's from a magazine, and it's not taken from an English learning website. It's just from a magazine in English. So some of the vocabulary might be a little bit more complicated than we're used to, but I know all of you are probably bored by breaking news English by now, so I tried to change things up. Okay, so here in the Verbling box, you have the link to the article we're reading today, and I'll paste it in the chat box as well. Is everyone able to open this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
No, I was laughing. I'm laughing just because we mentioned depression as an interesting topic to talk about, you know? And I think that food can be an antidepressant. Do you think so?
It's true.
Yeah.
I think that's definitely maybe a temporary one though.
Yeah. Okay.
No, this article, it may seem like it's about a negative topic, but it ends in a happy place, I think. So you'll have to read it to see.
Okay.
Okay. So what we're going to do today is read the article out loud. I'll ask a few students to read. It'll give you a chance to practice reading out loud and practice your pronunciation, things like that. Then I will give you time to reread the article on your own, looking for vocabulary and things that you find difficult or words you don't know, phrases that are confusing, etc. And then I will ask you some comprehension questions about the article to make sure we've all understood, and then we'll discuss it. We'll have a nice open discussion. Okay, so the title of today's article is Study Shows One Dose of Antidepressants Changes the Brain. Okay, and they have a quote, a quotation at the beginning of the article that kind of sums it up. It says, "We were not expecting the SSRI to have such a prominent effect on such a short time scale, or for the resulting signal to encompass the entire brain," said Julia Sacker. Okay, so there's a lot to unpack in just from looking at the title and this quotation, right? There's a lot going on here and some complicated language. So, things you need to know. An SSRI is a type of antidepressant drug. Okay, and there's a lot of kind of technical vocabulary in this article, which you'll come across if you read, you know, the science section or the health section of a newspaper. So it's good to get used to hearing about, you know, how they talk about studies, data, things like that. Okay, so just from reading this one quotation, what do you think this article will be about? So just from the title and this quotation.
It is about the antidepressant drug usage to heal the anxiety and depression.
Okay.
On the people.
Yes, good, good. And what else?
And also, there is something happened which the researchers didn't expect that, and something like maybe side reaction, and they weren't expect that it's gonna be that much. That's much big problem. Yes.
Good. Yeah. So not really a side effect, but a surprising effect, right? And what was that surprising effect?
A prominent effect on such a short time scale. Like maybe it can be, but if they were expecting a long time, a long time term, but it happened in a short while.
Absolutely. So it worked much more immediately than they expected. Very good, Essen. Good. Okay. So any questions before we start reading? Okay.
Yeah.
So can I? Yes. Question? No. Okay. Can I have one student volunteer to read the first paragraph out loud?
Okay, Mia, of course. Even
Okay.
though. Okay. How many paragraphs I have to read?
Just one.
Just one. Just a single one for me.
Single one for you.
Okay, you mean okay. Selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, or SSRI, are one of the most common classes of antidepressants used to treat both depression and anxiety symptoms, but drugs often take up to amount to have a positive effects.
Excellent. Thank you. See, I gave you only one paragraph, but it had a lot of difficult words. So I think that's fair.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. All right, Ali, can you read the next paragraph?
In a recent study, however, researchers looking to better understand why SSRIs work for some people and not others, or for some people much faster than others, found that a single dose of antidepressant has almost immediate effects on the brain's connectivity.
Great, thank you. Mauro, can you continue?
Yes. As a part of new study carried out by scientists at the Max Planck Institute for Human Cognitive and Brain Sciences and published this week in the Cell Press journal Current Biology. Researchers gave 22 volunteers patients who had never suffered from depression a single dose of common SSRI called, I don't know, escitalopram, I don't know the pronunciation.
Escitalopram, I think.
Escitalopram, a generic drug first sold under the brand name Lexapro.
Good.
A few hours later, researchers scanned the test subject's brains.
Excellent, thank you.
Thank you.
Essen, can you continue? Essen, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
I'm sorry.
It's just I couldn't hear that you said that.
Oh, okay.
The scans revealed reduced connectivity in all areas of the brain except the cerebellum and thalamus, which exhibited increased connectivity. The cerebellum is central in controlling motor coordination, and the thalamus governs signal regulation.
Okay, good. I think that's the most confusing paragraph. Very good pronunciation.
Wow.
All right. Okay. Mustafa, can you continue?
Okay. We were not expecting the SSRI to have such a prominent effect on such a short time scale, or for the resulting signal to encompass the entire brain. Julia Sacher of the Max Planck Institute said in a press release.
Great. Kevin, can you continue?
Okay. The brief experiment is just an early part of a longer quest to understand how exactly SSRIs operate. Researchers plan to do similar experiments on patients battling anxiety or depression who have early success with SSRIs and compare their brain scans to patients who fail to respond to the same treatment.
Great, thank you. And Ernar, can you finish the article? Ernar, are you there? Okay, you snooze, you lose. Juan Pedro, can you finish the article?
This research could help to better predict who will benefit from this kind of antidepressant versus some other form of therapy. Sacher said, "The hope that we have is that ultimately our work will help to guide better treatment decisions and tailor individualized therapy for patients suffering from depression."
Good, thank you. And this word is individualized.
Individualized.
Individualized, good. Okay, it's tricky. Okay, great. So there's a lot going on in this article, and I know it's difficult, right? I will admit that. There are some technical terms. Someone found it so difficult that he just left. But, but what I want you to do now is not to worry, to go back, reread the article on your own, try to understand as much as you can what this is talking about. My goal is for you to be able to summarize this article. So summarize, what was this study, what did they find, why is it important? Okay, so try to figure out if you can get the big picture of this article. Don't worry about details, parts of the brain, crazy names, etc. What I do want you to do is make a note of new vocabulary for you. Okay, as always, make a note of that while you're reading, and we'll talk about your questions after, a few minutes. So now, take 3 or 4 minutes, reread this on your own, and then we will start to talk about the article. Okay?
This is a sad article, indeed.
Really?
Teacher, do you
I
know?
think you think it's a sad article?
No, I think that it's very, very sad because maybe, uh, okay, it's my personal opinion, but
Mm-hmm.
okay, this article talks about a sort of medicine and SSRIs that is
SSRI.
okay, that is that can this problem, but nobody talks about the cause of depression, you know.
The
And
causes of depression.
yes,
Uh-huh.
because of depression, and I think that I think to fight depression, I think that it's important to look into the causes of depression.
I agree.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Just because I think that any medicine can, in a way, cure the symptoms, but not the cause. Okay. This is
Mm-hmm.
my
I
personal
agree.
opinion. My
I
personal
agree, and I
opinion.
think, yeah, hold it. I have a response for you, but we'll save it for the discussion.
Yes, but
Okay?
okay. Another
Okay.
point that I have to discuss with you.
Okay. Another point.
Yes, my point is that maybe they have to try this medicine in advance and not after their introduction and okay. I think that is important to test any medicine, any new medicine in advance, because as far as I understood, okay, they say that there is a current survey that they are carrying out, and I believe that, for example, this survey, this test would have carried out before the introduction of this medicine. Okay,
Okay.
this is
Mm-hmm.
important.
Okay. Yeah, good points. All right, good. So I'm definitely going to ask you, maybe I'll ask you to start off our discussion after
Yeah.
we talk about the vocab. Okay, good. Okay, so are people still reading? Are people finished reading?
I'm almost done, actually.
Okay, so I'll give you a few more minutes to read, and then we'll, talk about your questions. Okay, so let's start to talk about some questions you have, either about vocabulary, things you found confusing, etc.
If we're going to summarize the article.
Sorry?
We are going to summarize the
Yes.
article, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
well.
I can start.
Okay, good.
Okay. In first paragraph, they are talking about the most common antidepressant in the maybe most used one, and which comes up with a positive effect in a month usually, and this is their expectation from this drug, from this medicine.
Okay, good.
And the second one, they are trying to, according to recent studies, they're trying to understand why the medicine works fast on some people and doesn't work fast on rest of them. They're trying to figure it out. And after that, they have 22 volunteers, and they're not patient. They had tests and experiments on them to find it out. And their studies have shown the connection all part of brain, but as I understand, it doesn't. The studies haven't shown the connection with cerebellum and thalamus. I think that they're medical English.
They're parts of the brain, yeah. They're very technical.
Yes. So yes, yes, I think that's all I understand. I mean, I didn't have enough time to finish it.
Okay, no, that was great. That was a very good summary. Okay, really good.
This girl is a genius.
She's very smart, this one.
Yeah.
She is. Okay, really good. Very good. Good.
Sorry, teacher.
Yes.
Just I have a comment, please, about the last paragraph. Tailor. What's the meaning of tailor?
Good.
The
Great
last line.
question. So to tailor, if you go to a tailor as a noun, it's a person who fixes your clothes, who fixes your clothing. As a verb, to tailor means to create something personalized for someone. So to create something that is personalized for someone. So here, when they say to tailor individualized therapy, it means to create types of therapy specifically for certain people.
Okay.
Does that help, Mustafa?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, are there other vocab questions? Okay, well, I want to point out a few things that I think might be new. So in the first paragraph, they talk about classes of antidepressants. What does that mean? Why would they talk about a class of antidepressants?
Sorry, teacher, which paragraph?
Which paragraph, Kate?
In the first paragraph.
Could you repeat?
They say,
I couldn't.
yes, they talk about classes of antidepressant drugs. So so can someone explain how they're using the word classes in this paragraph?
Kind of.
A variety of kinds of
Families.
Levels.
Yeah. Okay, I'm hearing a lot of good things. Basically, classes here means categories or types or kinds.
Have some similar effects.
Yeah. And so we use this a lot when talking about scientific things in studies. You'll hear the word classes of, so classes of drugs, classes of, you name it. Okay. Good. And then later, they talk a lot about, in the second paragraph, there are a few interesting words, I think. They say, found that a single dose of antidepressant has an almost immediate effect on the brain's connectivity. So here, what is a dose?
some amount of
Daily usage.
Yes. Okay, good. So dose is the amount of medicine that you take at one time. Okay, very common word. Take one dose after lunch and one dose after dinner, for instance, right? So you'll hear that a lot. Okay. And then it starts talking about connectivity. I know you all know what the word connect means, but what exactly does it mean that it's talking about the brain's connectivity? What do you think? What is this? What is the brain connected to, and what does this mean?
Connectivity.
Working in many lines of maybe.
Okay.
Like a network, brain has many cells, and there are some connection between the brain cells, like a computer network. Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, excellent.
Also,
It can be. Oh, the genius first.
Listen, I think you cut out. What were you saying?
I'm sorry that I said that I think it's a cooperation among the brain parts.
Cooperation among the brain parts. Yeah, good.
I think related to neural system.
Good. Yes. all of that is correct. Okay. And I just want to point out a couple of small things. I know we're all eager to discuss this article, but there's just so much good vocabulary. Where is the word? Okay, so they use the word govern in the third paragraph, or fourth. They're talking about how the cerebellum and the thalamus, these brain parts, govern an activity in the brain. So here, when they say govern, what does this mean?
Control.
Yeah, to control, right?
Yeah.
So I just want you to notice that to govern is used in a lot of sort of figurative ways. So not necessarily talking about actual people in power, but rather things that can or regulate other things.
Yeah.
Okay? So, questions? Okay, I have a few comprehension questions that will hopefully lead into a discussion. So, so who were the participants in this study? And were they depressed?
No.
No.
Who were they?
Ordinary people.
Volunteers. Volunteers, people who don't have such an illness like depression or anxiety.
Good. And what different types of technology did the study use?
Technology?
Mm-hmm. So what technology did they use to measure data?
A scan.
Good. Yeah, so brain scans. Good. Great. Okay. And what were the results of the study, and why were they surprising?
Because this treatment operates people immediately, which researchers wouldn't expect.
Good. Absolutely, Kevin. Yeah. Good. Any other? Does anyone want to add to this?
There are a lot of connectivity in the main areas. Thalamus and the other one I don't remember.
Cerebellum.
And is interesting because these areas are the main areas and govern the rest of the areas. But the scientists don't know what effects a long time this antidepressant have, no?
Yeah, good. And so you mentioned these two areas of the brain, and in the article it says the cerebellum is a part that controls motor coordination, so your movements and your ability to, get up and do things. And the thalamus is something that that regulates your hormones, so things that affect your your mood and that sort of thing. Why would a drug that affects these parts of the brain be relevant in treating depression? This is, I don't have a good answer for this. This is, taking the information from the article. What would your hypothesis be? Why does it work?
The purpose of this research?
Okay, also?
I think that is to find some treatment that are specific for any people, tailor-made therapy for anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Maybe because we are different each other, and okay, I think so. And just because our brains works differently. Okay.
Yep. Yeah. That's the end goal, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, and Mustafa, what were you going to say?
I think after the experiment to 22 volunteer, the scan revealed that that's happened because reduce connectivity in all area of brain except these two parts in the brain, which accept increase connectivity.
Yeah. Good. And so apparently it's these two parts of the brain that are maybe important in regulating depression, right? Is what I think those results might say. But more importantly, and what I think will open up to our discussion, why are these results important? Or do you think these results are important? And why or why not?
I think this research, as they said in the last paragraph, so this is like the conclusion. It could help to better predict who will benefit from this kind of antidepressant. So it's helped them to maybe create a better cure or treatment.
Good.
I stick to my gun. I believe that maybe we have to look into causes more than try to find okay, new medicine for to cure depression, because I believe that as this article I've highlighted, I think that we are different each other, and maybe we have different cause for our depression, you know, and that's why we have to find different solution for any kind of depression.
And even for people who are very severely depressed or like even suicidal?
I think that it's important that to have a dialogue with the depressed people. I think that also psychology therapy is important. Okay, there are some noises.
Okay, no problem, no problem. Okay. Good. So, a lot of background noise everywhere. Great. Okay, so other comments and responses. So my question was, do you think this research is important? Why are to talk about related topics and expand on this?
It's important for pharmaceutical companies only, not for us.
Okay. Class, do you agree?
In my opinion.
Yeah, go ahead, Kevin.
In my opinion, people in our society have mental problems. I think almost have that disease. So researchers want to figure out the treatments, and this SSI is one of treatments. So, and the researchers see the effects to some people, but not all. So I think it's a sort of a small step to find out the vaccine or drug, I guess. So it's very important for people in our society.
Good. Other responses?
I don't know, in my opinion, if this anti-depression, like a cure, we can say, it's all research would help to like prevent depression or something like this for long-term vision to the people. I don't know. Maybe the problem we have to fix the problem like in psychological way to explain the causes and the treatment. So this is maybe more valuable or benefit. But it's research, and maybe will give a better results for them to create maybe better cure or something like this.
And Ismail, why don't you read your comment?
Kathleen, according to this article, it is very important because not all the psychiatrists or doctors, psychological doctors, are prescribed similar medicine to all kind of anxiety, illness problem or depression problem. But according to this article, maybe there are some people in this ear group, and this kind of drugs don't help them. Actually, they use this drug for nothing, and they don't get any help from this drug. Maybe they should use another treatment solution. I don't know.
Okay, good, Ismail. I think what you're saying is very important as well. Yeah, that people are individuals; they need to have appropriate treatment for them.
Yeah, yes. And there are some other techniques to solve this problem, I think. Some people use medication and needle therapy.
Yes, definitely. And is mental health something that you that in your country it's okay to talk about, or is there still a stigma or a taboo against talking about mental health issues?
In Korea, there is still a stereotype about mental disease, but I think Korean society is very changing sharply. So maybe within few years, I think it's gonna be okay, yeah, to talk about openly. Yeah.
In Spain, and perhaps.
Juan, are you there? Juan Pedro, are you there?
What's going on there?
Someone muted him.
Sorry. No, I wanted to say,
okay.
In the past and perhaps it was a stigma, but right now it's common to visit if you have a disorder or something like this. is no, it's a normal way because it's your life. Your life is very important and is perhaps the life in the other side of the world, in the United States, through the films, through the Woody Allen, I remember now. I remember now. And it's a normal way to speak some disorder you can have, no?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but
good.
It's all related. To me, the main the report to me is all things physical and psychical things are related.
Are related.
And yes, and any little bit discovery is very important because all things are related, and it's important to know any little bit thing.
Mm-hmm. I agree completely. And unfortunately, we're just about out of time for our class. Thank you for indulging me and for reading this article. I hope you found it interesting and not too depressing. Yes, the word stigma means it's not okay to talk about it in public. People frown upon it.
Okay.
Teacher.
Yes. Teacher, sorry, what's indulge? I forgot.
Indulge is like thank you for agreeing to do this or for participating because it's something that I like, something that I'm very interested in, and something that I think people need to talk about more. I think mental health is, still we've come a long way, but there's still a lot to talk about and to make people feel more comfortable admitting if they have problems or are feeling badly and need to get help.
Teacher,
So,
if you feel depressed, come to Italy, okay?
I live in Barcelona.
Yeah,
I don't think I could be depressed
good
here.
Food, okay, good students. It's the land for you.
Yes, it's the land for me. I don't know. I'm pretty happy here. Barcelona is a pretty nice place. I have the beach.
Yeah.
I have good food. I'm relaxed.
Yeah.
So, no, don't you worry.
Okay,
class. So
Bye.
thank you all very much for participating. It was great to see you. I hope to see you soon. And bye-bye.
Bye. Bye, Genius.
Thank you.
Bye, Genius.